I've been sitting on this for a long time. I just didn't get around to it. So Mark Sargent is back in the news. I believe he's over in Europe right now with the Globe Live tour. But I wanted to mention about this time when he was on the, I think it was the cover of the Everett Herald, and they did a story about him, a piece, a lifestyle piece, and they originally titled it something different, but I can't remember what it was now because this goes back to March. But then it was retitled, "He's Semi-Famous for Being Flat Out Wrong About Earth." And here they have him holding up what he representative model of a flat planet, they call it. Of course, we might want to call it a wandering star. If Earth is a wandering star, I don't know. We don't really have that evidence, but it's certainly not a planet. All the evidence says that. He's made a name for himself as the Flat Earth spokesman, it says. Photo by Andy Bronson at the Herald. Here, let's go through this real fast. A Whidbey Island resident is telling people around the world that our planet is not a sphere, by Andrea Brown. At the supermarket, oh yeah, there's the date. Wow, it's even older than March. It's January 15th. I've been sleeping a long time at the wheel on this. Sorry about that, guys. At the supermarket, Mark Sargent might appear to be just another middle-aged guy in line. In his car, not so much. The license on his white Chrysler sedan reads, "It's flat." The Whidbey Island man is world-renowned for saying the world isn't round. What's up with that? Sargent is a front-runner for flat earthers on the globe or disk or whatever it is that keeps us from bouncing up to Mars. Not that he believes in Mars, another wandering star, or one of the wandering stars. The entire Apollo program is a fabrication. NASA was created to keep this thing under wraps, said Sargent 50. We are living in a structure, a planetarium, a terrarium, a Hollywood back lot, like the Truman Show. The surface is like a dinner plate, he said, with Washington sitting near the middle and Antarctica is a frosty rim. And no, it doesn't spin. In addition to his Flat Earth Clues YouTube channel with 70,000 subscribers, he does a radio show and wrote a book. He has a cameo in a new 19-minute documentary, Behind the Curve, where he explains that the South Pole is a 200-foot wall of ice, straight up Game of Thrones style, and the sun and moon are just lights in the sky. He makes money at proselytizing that the world is flat? Yes, surprisingly, Sargent said. Chew on that as you slog your way through your flat-out boring 9-to-5 job. He's being flown to a San Francisco meetup later this month and will speak at a New Zealand convention in the spring. Of course, that's already happened now. Sargent lives with his mom, Patty, a retired South Whidbey home economics teacher, in her golf course condo off Highway 525, a few miles south of Freeland. She's also in Behind the Curve, which she is trying to get shown at the Clyde Theater in Langley, where some of the footage was shot. It's about $5 to view online. I can understand where he was coming from, she said. It is eye-opening. I want the truth to come out, no matter what it is. Sargent's sister is not a convert. It's one of those topics in families that you don't bring up, the mom said. While a student, Sargent got kicked out of Western Washington University for making illegal fireworks to sell and later won a digital championship when he was on probation. He spent 20 years making a living playing video games and doing tech support in Colorado. That was a software company. He returned to Whidbey Island in 2015 when he got deep into flat Earth. It is an awkward topic to bring up unless you have a good segue into it, Sargent said. Most people are taken aback by the whole concept. Not a problem. He has enough company with his own ilk at meetups and online. It's a male-dominated crowd, though there are flat Earth dating sites. The movement attracted sports stars known for their spinning sphere skills. Boston Celtic Kyrie Irving said the Earth was flat, then changed his mind and apologized to science teachers. Shaquille O'Neal said he was joking when he chimed in when he drives from Florida to California or flies on a plane. Quote, it seems to be flat, unquote. Golden State Warrior Steph Curry recently stirred controversy when he said the moon landing was fake. Rapper B.O.B. sparked a Twitter battle with astrophysicist, actor Neil deGrasse Tyson, calling him a liar and later trying to raise money to somehow prove it. A 2018 survey by online data researcher YouGov.com found 84% of adult respondents were sure the Earth was round. Of those, only 66% of millennials 18 to 24 were convinced, with 4% believing it was flat. The other had varying degrees of skepticism either way. More than half polled supporting a flat Earth themselves as very religious. Sargent said he believes in God and Bigfoot. Go figure. How Sargent got hooked on a complex conspiracy as opposed to Elvis lives in lizard people is simple. It's because he's single. Most people get married and have kids, but if you don't, you have huge amounts of free time on your hands, he said. I looked at just about every conspiracy you could think of. Flat Earth is something that even a great conspiracy person will dismiss. It's ridiculous. But why is it? Because that's what you were told when you were 6 years old, and it sticks with you. It has been settled. It was settled 500 years ago, unquote. For him, it was unsettling. After all, he didn't have a baby keeping him up half the night, or a wife demanding he attend to earthly matters. Once you get into it, the doubt never goes away, he said. What he terms doubt, others might term delusion, especially when he says the government started NASA to cover up the truth. But why? They didn't want to admit they were wrong, he said. They keep expanding on it. Now they're just making stuff up. Like, oh yeah, dark matter, the form of energy which accelerates the universe, unquote. Maybe to him, but it makes sense to most earthly beings enamored by images of the cosmos. We actually have pictures of Earth from space. It's round, so are Mars and the Moon, said David Montgomery, a University of Washington professor and geomorphologist who studies the Earth's turf. We've been able to send rockets to Mars, he said, and if Earth and Mars were not both round, the math wouldn't work. That's how NASA did it. If the Earth was flat, it would have been totally different math. It would have crashed. Montgomery played guitar in the bands in the 1990s called Flat Earth, named in jest. I was a geologist, so the other guys thought it was funny, he said. We only put one album out, and it didn't do really well, unquote. The UW Prof is now in 2 bands, Good Bones and Big Dirt. You can watch him perform at Tim's Tavern in Seattle on Thursday. You'll have a ball. Again by Andrea Brown. Well, Andrea, you attempted to slander people who know about the shape of the Earth, but you didn't do a very good job. And you cited a professor, geomorphologist, whatever that means, for saying that there are pictures of it and that a rocket went up. That's your proof. I guess you're right. Yeah, that's plenty of proof. We'll just believe some guy who says that NASA has a picture of it, so it must be a ball. Spinning ball, 2.2 million miles per hour, flying through space in 5 different directions, yet we never see or feel anything. And the ocean and the lakes look flat as a pancake sometimes. Well, that UW prof also says one of his bands called Big Dirt and Good Bones. Well, it's probably another joke by him because he might really know what the truth is. Good Bones is probably a reference to the fact that evolution is a lie. We didn't come from a bunch of monkeys. And Big Dirt means the big flat disc that we live on called Earth. It does no curvature, no proof of curvature whatsoever. In fact, all the proof is the other way. And oh, by the way, Andrea, you forgot to mention that the final results of this poll, which was recorded, I have it as February 7th, 2019, as you can see on this screenshot, that the Everett people, home of Boeing, they think over half of the people surveyed, which is 196 votes, looks like they had about total votes of just under 400, 386. I think that's good enough for a Nielsen poll for president. seriously, statistically, that the size of the sample is well enough um, to constitute a valid sample size for the city of Everett. And Everett is home of Boeing. And guess what? Over half of them say the world is flat, even though there's two other answers on here that say it's spherical or round. So even though they could have picked two other answers, they picked the third answer, which it's flat. So sorry to tell you, Andrea, but people already know. They can feel it and they observe it, our flat earth reality. Thanks for your time.